Hello, what's up? If you're new, I'm Jessica, Earth Angel 111 here on YouTube. Thanks for stopping by. So listen, today I want to talk about a few ways that you can turn your business into a success, okay? Especially if you resonate with being a healer, a reader, a spiritualist, or anyone with any type of social media. So, you want to grow a business, you want to grow your social media, you want to figure out how to get more people to pay attention to your content, your videos. What can you do to stand out? Okay, so that's the first question y'all got to ask yourself. You need to make yourself a brand, okay? You need to make yourself known for who you are, for the energy you put out into the world. So the first thing that I like to say, okay, is be authentic. Don't be afraid to be yourself, whether you are quirky, you are funny, you are unique. Every single one of us has different things about ourselves that make us unique in the world. So embrace your unique qualities. Don't be afraid to stand out when it comes specifically even to how you film your videos, okay? So for example, don't be afraid to show off your personality, okay? Y'all know I'm all about the butterflies, okay? So always don't be afraid to go after something that you truly love and inspire you. So having a good background, having a good setting, if you are someone who is making online content creation, that is important as well. Now you will find that go one of two ways. Some people like to do a more simplistic approach. So that could be just having a neutral background, not having much going on in the back. And other people you will find will love to be unique in showing who they are. So whether that is having hanging plants, having some type of lighting, for others of you having some type of decor, something that really makes your background unique, okay? Something visually pleasing to others. Now also on a subpar note of that, when it comes to being unique yourself, do you have a specific way you like to do your makeup, your hair, how you dress? Don't be afraid to include that in it, okay? Especially if you are someone who, has a very unique aesthetic, sometimes that can really work in your own benefit. If you are someone who has unique tattoos or a unique hairstyle, maybe you rock different colors in your hair, or you could be someone who really plays out a certain aesthetic. So whether you got that goth vibes, you've got that athletic vibe, okay? For others of you, you could be someone who really rocks just like beautiful, interesting, majestic, okay, type of fashion. Some people love to wear just pink. Don't be afraid to show that off, okay? Just be true to you. That's the number one thing I can say. And also, too, don't be afraid to include your own lingo when filming content. Don't feel like you need to stick to some type of script. Don't feel like you need to speak a certain type of way. Just talk how you would genuinely talk, say you were talking to someone you know. That is a huge part of it as well. Make funny jokes if y'all be that way, okay? You know me, I always throw in my own cheesy little jokes depending on the message that comes out in the reading, right? Don't be afraid to include that. Or if you're someone specifically who likes a certain sport, you like certain style of movies, music, don't be afraid to include that as well. And that doesn't just go for tarot readings or tarot reader, healer, intuitive speaker. This goes for any type of social media. Don't be afraid to include your personality. So I would say that is the biggest thing you can do when building your brand or building yourself is be you. Because people will love you when you're truly stepping in your own authenticity and just being the person that you were born to be. Every single one of us was born to shine bright. Some people are a little bit more shy and others are a little bit more outgoing. But when you can embrace that beautiful way of being yourself, your qualities will shine through. And that is something, okay, that cannot be faked. So number 2, another way to grow is to have social media platforms. If you're just posting on one part of social media platform and you don't have anything else to really expand your audience or to get more people to watch your videos, right? That's creating stagnancy in yourself. So a lot of y'all know I personally like to use YouTube and TikTok, okay? So that is a great way to expand your audience. Now, especially too, TikTok is a beautiful way of getting new people to watch your videos. Think about how many people are on that app currently, since that is one that's really up and coming. A lot of people are just constantly scrolling through their For You page, stuff like that. So don't be afraid to put yourself on multiple different social medias. And even if it's something that's not monetized, okay, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm in Canada, so TikTok is not monetized. But that's fine because it also helps reach a new set of audience, okay? And ultimately, too, it's just great to be able to extend yourself for more people to see what you're about. And like I said, you don't even just have to be a tarot reader. You could be someone who does a specific niche. Maybe you like to talk about scary movies. You could be a video gamer. You could be an esthetician. You could do nail, hairs, art, okay? For others of you, you could be a tattoo artist. You could be a musician, okay? No one's going to know about you or your product or who you are until you put yourself out there. So even if you start small with like no views at first, no following, y'all, we was all there, all right? But it's about posting, okay? And that leads me to number 3, which I'll get into shortly. But number 3 is definitely posting consistently. So going back to social media, number 2 here, just make sure you're utilizing all your options. Also too, I advise you to make a free website. There are so many different platforms you can make a free website. If you're not good with all that, don't worry. There's so many different avenues now to really just like pretty much have it built for you. And you can also hire a professional if you feel like you're stuck at creating your social media, your business, or your website. But I personally think it's a lot better to experience it, to learn, and to do it on your own, because until you get to that point of maybe needing to have people help you out, you can continue to do it all on your own, okay? And especially if you resonate with being a healer, reader, most of us, I could say myself first and foremost, we do it independently, right? And most business owners do until you reach a certain level or content creation. So until you reach in that million mark, okay, you usually don't need to worry about it. And even then, sometimes most people will have learned so much upon their path that they continue to do it all for themselves. Now, number 3, so like I was saying, it's about posting consistently. If you post once a month, that's once a month opportunity, and then no one's going to see you again. So it's really important. There is an algorithm that you need to follow, and it comes to any social media platform. I'm not even going to get specific on one, but they say the average times that you should post is 3 to 5 times a day. Space it out. If you make a bunch of videos or content in one day, space it out. Don't post it all at once, okay? Be able to realize as well when your target audience is watching, because there are a lot of things to do with analytics now. And once you kind of just open up and check out when's the main time that your audience is watching, right? For some of you, it's going to be, say, at 12 p.m. or it's going to be at 7 p.m. There's specific times that you're going to notice there are more viewers tuning into your content or your videos. So go ahead and take advantage of that whole analytics option and really allow yourself to grow based on that information alone. Also too, you can also see who is the majority of viewers watching your videos, what ages they are. Are they ages 25 to 35? Are they feminine? Are they masculine? You know, you can really see that so that you can gear your content to be more focused around your audience, because you want to have the most appealing information for your audience that is watching. And as that begins to grow, it becomes a lot easier to see what works and what doesn't. So that's going to lead me to point number 4, creating your actual content. It's a process. You literally live and you learn. You go through ups and downs as well. Realize that some days you're going to have more people checking out your videos and other days you're not. Depending on the day of the week too. Are people at work? Are people off for the weekend? Right? Really taking that into consideration as well. And if you do something that is a more larger video or content production or something, say for example, you are doing a longer video like a pick a card reading, or if you are someone with a podcast, you're doing a great interview, you want to pick the days that are more busy, that people are more tuning in. So for example, if that's a Friday or a Saturday afternoon, make sure you're putting out your best videos then. It really comes down to too though, like I said, just living and learning. Everything is trial and error, and especially when it comes to social media, you can also find a lot of information online like this video I'm posting. If you need more tips and tricks afterwards, make sure to really kind of study your niche, but a lot of it comes down to you just going with it, seeing what you like to do, seeing what you like to post, and how your audience responds to it. And that's where you get started, okay? And so the next point, really to do with just taking advantage of the analytics, they're there for a reason, because all social media platforms want to see you grow, because you growing means more business for them as well. So all social media platforms want to see you grow, because the more that you grow, the more that their business grows as well. And there are many different avenues to take in the way of that. That will lead you eventually to having certain type of brand deals, partnerships. You will find that most social media websites are geared behind being able to provide that service of linking up you with another company, another brand, and even just the way in you having certain information accessible for people to be able to reach out to you. So that's going to lead me to point number 5. Making sure that you are exploring all options includes having a business email, or ultimately to having a website. So regardless if you are someone who's just putting yourself out there, creating videos, content, or you are a business owner, having a small business specifically geared around a project, a product, okay, or even if you are someone, for example, who offers some type of service, if you're a tattoo artist, you're a musician, you're a model, right? You need to be able to have that avenue open for people to be able to reach out to you, so that they know how to access you or your business or your website, or to speak to you one-on-one. So some people go out of their way to make sure that they have a separate business email, or for example, a website that can link you to that information. And some people also have a business number. So number 5 can be incredibly important, because when it comes to the way of wanting to grow and, you know, just taking yourself more seriously, these aren't things that you need to implement from the beginning, but I do suggest implementing it from the beginning so that you can create a separate entity from yourself. So for example, you know, you're not going to want to have people reaching out for a product and service and reaching out to your original email, right? Or something that's more personal. Making sure you have that separated from the get-go is something you really just want to do, so that it's not something you have to worry about later on the line when you have more of an audience, or more of people who are wanting to work with you, wanting your services, wanting your product. And especially too, if you are someone who is a business, right, you need to make sure you have that all separate. So definitely check out, there's lots of videos, like I said, that can really kind of help guide you on that avenue. I'm not going to get too into detail, but making sure that you take yourself seriously, and you take your brand seriously, and your business seriously. It's really going to help establish too a certain level of professionalism, so that people are inclined to want to work with you and to take part in whatever this is that you're doing. And also too, in the way of collaborations, y'all, okay? Because no matter what you do, whether you are a content creator, a business owner, a tarot reader, a tattoo artist, there's always going to be collaborations that come along the way. So that leads me to point number 6. And point number 6 can definitely be networking with others is an amazing way to help you grow. So you can still be independent, but be networking with others. There are other people that could be in the same niche as you, other people that do the same thing as you, other people that have the similar career as you, or a business as you. Sometimes, instead of looking at everyone else's competition, it's so much better to really just look at someone else as inspiration, okay? That may be able to teach you a few things, or like I said, the two of you may be able to put two minds together to create a better vision, or a collaboration. So that could be in the way of a collaboration video, a collaboration product, or a collaboration marketing. Sometimes people will just give each other a shout out for shout out, right? You could be someone who's specifically big on a certain platform, and someone else could be bigger on another platform. Well, you two putting those together, you can help each other grow by kind of crisscrossing over. So for example, if you are someone who has a lot of a following on a certain platform, and you know someone who doesn't, but they have a whole new platform that they have a larger following than you do, reach out. Don't be afraid to send an email or get in the DMs, or, you know, comment, show support as well. So a big thing you want to do is make sure that you are supportive of others. Never make yourself feel discluded, okay? You know, you'll see certain people that feel like if you're a business or a brand, you should never reach out to other people. Well, I'm going to use TikTok as a good example. You see how many people too these days make these videos that it's like, oh, if you get 100 likes on this, someone will, you know, give you a raise or get you that product, whatever. You see so many different brands and businesses that you would never expect popping out the woodworks, okay, and showing support to people who may be a small creator. Now that's absolutely beautiful. You'll see huge corporations, businesses, content creators, all that, not afraid to put themselves out there, because also too, just by you showing support, you showing that you support a certain thing in the world, using your voice for the betterment, and also too coming back to standing out, being your authentic self, well, it shows that you are a girl's girl, you're a guy's guy, you're a team player, you're someone who isn't just selfishly doing something for yourself. You're not afraid to put yourself out there to show that you show support to your favorite content creators, okay, or favorite businesses. And most importantly, you're also showing your unique self, who you are, and that allows more people to be drawn into you naturally. And I think that's absolutely beautiful and absolutely necessary. So point 7 is going to come down to the way of what can you do to grow and expand your business to make it better, y'all. It's all about the materials, okay? And remember too, when you start with 0 following, 0 likes, comments, you're not gonna have the best equipment or the best materials for your business. But for example, if you're someone who is a nail tech and you're showing how-to nail videos, if you just have one nail polish, right? One style of nails that you're doing, there's only so much you're going to grow. But if you allow yourself over time to build up more different nail polish colors, more different styles of how you do nails, you're going to see your audience expand in a new way, because you're allowing yourself to create some type of sub-genre within your niche to attract more of an audience. This also has to do with so many different things. It's like, specifically if you're a tarot reader, do you have different decks that you resonate with? Or do you have different styles of content, right? And that comes back to the analytics. Make sure you're using that. But until you get truly into the analytics of things, it's going to be a lot of trial and error. So don't be afraid to just kind of follow your heart. I truly think what works best and what's going to bring you the most success is doing something you love. Because when you're passionate about it, other people can relate to it so much easier than if you're sitting there talking about something you don't know and you look kind of cranky doing it. So if you're happy, right? If you are upbeat, if you are just being positive, and it's important to just make that content like everyone's watching, even if one person is watching, one like, you know, even 100 views. If you start coming up and you're getting 100 views on your videos, some people say, oh, it's just stuck in the 100 views. 100 views, that means 100 people watch your video. That's amazing. That is a small start, and that is a stepping stone towards your success. So look at every milestone that you create as well as abundance and success for yourself. Now, number 8, if you are a visual person, okay, don't be afraid to make a vision board. It's very important to not set such high standards on yourself that you feel disappointed if you didn't reach certain heights or certain depths or expectations that you expected to, certain milestones by a certain time frame. But don't be afraid to set that goal for yourself long term. For example, you could be someone who wants to say to yourself, you want to post 3 times a week, or like I recommended, 3 times a day, 5 days a week. Then write a vision board, okay? And if you're not someone who's a visual person, maybe you prefer to read and write, have a journal, keep tabs. What are you going to do for the upcoming future? What have you already put out, and what are you planning on doing? That is a huge way to create a momentum as well, because sometimes you can write something down and you can already tell, no, I think I'm going to scrap that idea, or actually, I think I'm onto something there. So don't be afraid, which type of way you happen to be as a learner or using your own memory, whether that is through actual pictures or writing, you know. Don't be afraid to be able to take advantage of that to really set yourself up for success in your content. And if you're someone who feels like you're very forgetful, then make a selfie video. You don't have to post it anywhere, but make a video for yourself, reminding yourself, okay, this week I have to get this done. I have to do this done. So number 9 is going to be making sure you're using your time effectively. You know, in school, they teach us time management, right? Think about why we got to go to certain classes at a certain time, lunch breaks are a certain time, or even in your career, your job. It's only a certain time you have to take, you know, you got to be there at a certain time. You got to leave us. Treat your brand, your business, your content creations as the same. If you know that you're more successful in the morning, okay, then go to bed early the night before and wake your booty up and get your work done, okay? If you know that you have a certain time frame to get things out content-wise, like I said, more people are watching at a certain time, okay, then make sure you have it done a couple hours before or even just before. Make sure you're on time so you're ready to go. It's extremely important to make the most of your time, because at the end of the day, if you don't, you're only going to have yourself to blame if you feel as though you missed a time frame altogether to get something done. So this leads me to number 10, which I truly believe to be the most important, okay, way to make yourself a successful brand or business. You have to believe in yourself first and foremost. You have to not be fearful to go out there, put yourself out there, because more often than not, people have these dreams and they hold themselves back based on judgment of others or fear of others. But if you put yourself out there confidently, you know that you're extremely passionate about that. There is people that are a fan of anything. There's a niche following, a genre for anything in the world. You could even be someone who loves to critique food. You could be someone who loves to critique movies. You could be someone who has a lot of knowledge about history. You could be someone who has a lot of knowledge about the ocean. There's literally any type of thing that you could do if you are passionate about it. And that's the biggest way to be successful, is to really find something that you love and that you love to do every single day. So if you made it to the end of this video, I really hope that these were a few little tips and tricks for you on how you can build a successful brand or business starting from zero. So don't be afraid to start with nothing. And like I said, don't give up on yourself before you've allowed yourself to truly blossom into that success. Because if you keep going, you will build that momentum. And most importantly, you will find people that relate and truly love your work, talents, and your content, your business, your mottos, the way that you live your life. So thank you for watching. God bless you, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Drop in the comments if you found anything in this video helpful, specifically what point, and thank you again.